Yo, what's cooking, everyone? The Gaming Chef here is serving some quality content. Today, we're talking Indiana Warhawks and Johnstown Steel. That's right, the Season 2 D1 Call of Duty Championship game. We're going over everything you need to know about the finals. The stats, we're bringing in Johnstown's team captain and breaking down the epic Game 5 ending in Search and Destroy. All right, now let's get the setting here. Season 1 finals, okay? Warhawks ends up against Johnstown Steel. Johnstown in Season 1 completely undefeated up until they faced the Warhawks. And guess what? The Warhawks 3-0 them. Completely upset Johnstown. This set the bar high for everyone, being able to see exactly what the Warhawks are capable of. Alright, now on to Season 2. Both teams have some roster changes. For the Warhawks, we got Versa as the team captain, Mixo, Lavelle, Zeta Menace, and Sparky returning. For Steel, only Cam's Tippy, and returning to the team, Daz, Kikos, and Feez as the team captain. Johnstown starts the season 0-2. Feez makes some player adjustments and end up winning every single game afterwards, setting them up for the rematch against Warhawks in the finals. Now let's go over some stats for each game. For Game 1, it's hardpoint on Hackney Yard. On Steel, we got Tippy with over a minute on point. Daz slays out and gets 30 kills. Feez only gets 5 seconds on the hill. For Warhawks, we got Lavelle with 30 kills. Mixo and Zay end the round both with over a minute on the hill, giving the Warhawks the edge with a 250-162. On to Game 2, they play Search and Destroy on Arklov Peak. Steel slays out with Daz getting 10 kills, plus Kikos and Feez both get 9. On Warhawks, Sparky stands out with 9 kills. The game has a 4-0 start in favor of the Warhawks, and Johnstown wins 6 rounds in a row, incredibly, ending at 6-4. For Game 3, off to domination Hackney Yard. The first half, Johnstown takes the lead 81-76. Players' stats are evenly matched on both teams. Indiana ends up with a triple cap towards the end of the round, solidifying their lead, and ends up winning it 176-141. Game 4 is Ramaza Hardpoint. It's a back and forth game until the end, almost all players getting over 20 kills, and Kiko stands out with over a 2-minute hill time. Johnstown gets the win 250-195. It all comes down to Game 5, Search and Destroy Gunrunner. Warhawks lead it off 4-1. Zay with 8 kills for Indiana versus Daz's 7 leading Steel. Now the score is 5-3 Warhawks. Zay's up to 11 kills, and Daz is leading their team with 8, getting the win, putting him into round 10. Trades coming in for both teams in round 10, ending at 2v2, but Sparky ends up across the map from his teammate, and Steel picks him apart. This all leads us to an epic round 11 Game 5 S&D. You'll love to see it. You know what? Let's check it out. All right, round 11. All down to this. Warhawks' point of view. Let's see how it ends up. It's an A push. Now, A on this map, very, very fast round. Do or die right here. Daz is up top sniping. Rips one off right off the bat. First blood in for Johnstown Steel. Now you see some rotations coming in. Calls are coming out. Another kill comes out. Kikos gets the rusher. There's one kill in for Cams. Cam's still in a very good spot. Camsy rips a double. 1v5 situation. All down to Mixo. Mixo wants to rotate here. Knows that there's another player out here. Figures he's cornered. He has to pick them off one at a time. See him right here. He challenges Kikos. Kikos goes down. 1v4. Can Mixo come back from this? No, he can't. He gets answered right at the end. Very valiant effort from the Warhawks there in the end. Johnstown Steel does a very, very good job at coming out on top on that last round. Read the Warhawks up and down on how to end that. Great, great performance from both teams here. Amazing to see. Johnstown Steel ends up 6-5 for Game 5 Search and Destroy and become our Season 2 D1 champions. What an amazing, amazing job they did. Now let's go over and check in with Feez and see what he has to say about this season. All right, we have Feez, the captain for D1 Johnstown Steel here, bringing him in. Have a few questions to run through them. I'm sure some of you guys have some questions you'd like to ask. Hopefully, I cover a lot of them for you. So let's just start it off here. And why don't you go ahead and give us a rundown of the teammates that you had for season two and the roles they usually played?
All right, so my teammates, we had our main AR player, which was Daz. Daz came on. He joined the team about midway through the offseason last year. I mean, he's just a great all-around player. He caught my eye as soon as he joined the team. Um, yeah, he was our main AR player. Then we had Tippy. Tippy was kind of like a flex player for us. He kind of did what he kind of filled the holes that we needed to fill. He needed to run an AR map, he would run an AR. If he needed to run a sub, he'd run a sub. He kind of did it all.
Yeah,
Then we got Cams. Cams was our second AR player. Also just slayed over hill and watched over top of us, and yeah, Cams was great for us. Then you had Keeks. Keeks was probably our main sub player. I mean, in my opinion, he was the MVP last season. So, but we'll get into that later.
okay.
Um, that kid, I mean, he's just nasty. There's
Yeah,
nothing
yeah,
else about
we've
it.
seen him play. He's something
He,
else for sure.
yeah, he's something special. And then there was myself. I was kind of like our second SMG player, but I could play the AR when needed. So I kind of, in a way, played the flex as well, Tippy. So
Yeah,
that's
so
how
so
we came
everything's
about.
pretty much covered there. You see, going through beforehand, making sure you got all the positions covered, and pretty much in Modern Warfare, everyone really had to flex, so we're say. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just good, when everyone got their spots, get them doing their AR, their SMG. Be like, hey, I need you to play hill, or I'll cover the spots while you respawn. But yeah,
Mm.
you got everything down, and that's what you have to do.
Yep.
So were you part of the team for season one, right?
Yeah, I was a part of the team for season
Okay,
one.
so why don't you tell us about the additions and the things that changed over season one to season two?
Okay, so season one, a lot of people know about our team. Season one, we had the undefeated regular season and the 18-2 map count regular season of season one. In the finals, it just didn't go our way. We had a lot of connection issues and nothing worked in our favor. We ended up losing, which was kind of heartbreaking. That we ended up losing because that team was, I mean, it was really special, and we all wanted to get Murph and Jesse a championship for all that they did for Steel.
Yeah,
But speaking of Murph and Jesse, they kind of started Steel a long time ago, and so shout out to them, Murph and Jesse. They started it all for everybody over here at
yeah,
Steel.
great guys.
Yeah. So season one, our team was me, Keeks, Royal, Murph, and Jesse. So Jesse went to Indiana because he actually got the opportunity to be a GM at Indiana. Yeah, and Royal went to Erie when the Erie expansion team was announced.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's just Roy lives in Canada, so he wanted to play close to the closest city he could to his hometown. And so we had Murph, who also went to Erie. Murph got offered a job as the GM of Erie, so Murph kind of took his own role, and yep. And then yeah, that's it. So going into season two, me and Keeks were the only two returning Division One players for Steel. So uh, we kind of had a lot of pressure going on to us because Murph had given me the captain spot, and those are kind of big shoes to fill, considering of what Murph and Jesse did,
Yeah,
how they
for
started
sure.
it all. So when Murph gave me the spot, I was excited, but also a little nervous. Kind of just wanted to continue that winning mentality that Murph and Jesse had given us. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's how that started.
well, that's good. Players just had to move up. You don't want to hold anyone back if they got a better opportunity for sure. You
Yeah,
gotta
no
gotta
doubt.
keep them going. That's what the esport company is all about. Just keep moving up.
Yep.
We don't like keeping people stagnant, and keeping those new additions on your team. And how do you think getting those new players affected your season?
So I mean, we had a couple roster chases early on. Early on in the season, we had a roster. we started out 0-2, and from there I was kind of like, we need to change something up. Tippy, Tippy was actually a Division 3 player at the time that we made the roster change, and I saw he was doing really well down there, and in my opinion, he didn't belong down there, which obviously he did. 'Cause coming to D1 and being
Yeah.
a
That's
great
all
player
part
on
of being the
D1,
captain. Yeah, being
yeah,
able to see that talent and being like, hey, like let's
yeah,
try out up here, and it
yeah.
from what we've
So
seen, it worked out. It worked out.
yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
did. Daz actually DM'd me one day, and he said, yo, that Tippy guy on D3, he does not belong there. He's like, we need to give him a chance, and I said, all right, I trust you. So I brought him up, and we kind of formed our roster. That's kind of how the roster formed. And then Cam's is in the military, so he came back. So
Okay.
he actually got to come back home, and he got to play, and that's kind of how our roster came. So
Yeah, playing that Call of Duty IRL a little bit and coming back.
yeah, yeah.
All right, very cool, very cool. All right, so who do you feel is the strongest player on your team?
I think it has to be Keeks.
Keeks?
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
And why would you
that kid,
think that?
he's just special. He's never had like an, in my opinion, he just never has an off map. He never has an off series.
Very
He's always
consistent.
there.
Yeah.
He's just competitive at heart. He's just crazy on the sticks. I mean,
Yeah, and watching his stream, even when he's not competing, this guy, you
yeah,
never catch him off point. He's on
yeah,
it 10 out
no,
of 10.
he's always on his grind doing his
Yeah.
thing, and no matter if he's just playing pubs, playing eights, playing tens, whatever it is, he's doing his thing and getting better, so bettering himself. So I have to give it to Keeks.
Yeah. All right. I can agree with that 100%. Your whole team filled with a lot of talent, but Keeks,
Yeah,
he's just that little bit better. All you guys are
yeah,
definitely on top. Clearly, you
yeah,
got the champion. So,
yeah. I mean, we were all great players, but he just stood out.
okay. And where do you feel as a team you were the strongest? Were you like, you felt like, hey, when we were rushing on search and destroy, like that's where we owned it. Like, where would you say you guys had your strong points?
Our strong point early on in the season, we didn't really. I mean, we kind of our search at the beginning of the season, it was all. I mean, our search all season long was like some of the best in my opinion, if not the best search team in the whole league. But we had a little couple issues with hard points. Just, I mean, keeping up in the slaying department with other teams. Which is also why we made the move. It just made sense. But yeah, I think later on towards the end of the season, once we started getting the respawns going, definitely picked up our team a lot and it helped a lot. So we were confident in our search no matter what map it was. So if we went to a search, we were almost positive we could win a search anytime. So if we always said if we took one respawn, we win the series easy. So I would have to say our strong point all year was just any search and destroy.
Okay, and I can definitely see the search and destroy being your strong suit because in the finals it was absolutely insane your comebacks on
Yeah,
search. You went down, you were 0-4 in the first one, and I think
yeah,
1-4 in the second search and destroy, and just
yep,
came back straight up, didn't give them a map,
yep,
and then all came down to round 11, game 5 in search and destroy, and since you
yeah.
had that as your strong point, you were just able to come out on top.
Yeah, that so the first search and destroy was on our club peak. We were down 0-4. Well, we just kind of like we saw that we had a couple. We were just letting a few things slip by, and we just had to make a couple small changes. We ended up winning 6 straight on that one.
What kind of
And
changes would you say you made that you were able to read?
um, so I mean, we were just leaving a couple like holes open on the map. Like they were hitting like small things. I know like on the ramp, it was our club peak. So on
Hmm.
like the ramp at I think it's the A bomb site along the trench. Um, there was a guy that was always just playing around in there. Like they would smoke it, and then they would just play around that like little ramp area. And once Keeks started, he started getting his first bloods there and just giving us a man advantage. And then Daz was, in my opinion, the best sniper.
Yeah,
Just
very
and
important to have a sniper on our club.
yeah, when I mean like Daz couldn't play the one series, and we missed his snipe for sure. We still won that map in that series, but just having that sniper looking over top of you and just hitting all your shots, it's definitely something special. And if you have a good sniper on your team, that map was a lot easier. So
Yeah.
yeah, once Keeks could start getting his first bloods around that ramp area or like in the mid broken area, Daz was just hitting his snipes down the trench. I mean, it's just then we just could play lives from there because we had a team life advantage. So that was I think that helped a lot on that map.
Yeah, I could definitely
And
see that. That 0-4 comeback. You didn't even drop a map. It was a six straight and
yep,
absolutely insane. That's why you guys are the champs right there because you're able to read, be like, hey, we're down four. There's a lot of people that read 0-4 and they're like, we lost it, boys. Let's just get the next one. And
uh,
coming down to game five, you just couldn't do that. And knowing you're strong in search, be like, hey, like let's regroup. Like you said, I seen someone on that ramp a lot. Let's get our strong sniper. Let's get him taking that out. We're getting first bloods. Cams is pulling through for us. And you're just, I mean, six in a row is insane. Absolutely
yeah,
insane.
yeah. And then with that map 5, we were down 4-1. But I mean, 4-1 game 5 for the championship. We're like, I mean,
Yeah.
it was
The
4-0 when
stress
we
is
did it.
on.
I mean, yeah, and at that point, I just have to like the composure of that team is just it was just insane. Like, just there's so many times in that series where everyone counted us out. Like, I know people left my stream when it was game 2. We were down 4-0. People literally left my stream. They're like, "Oh, it's
Hey,
over. They're gonna be down 2-0. They can't
yeah.
win a domination. Like it's over." And
That's that push you
s-
need.
I mean, yeah, just
Sometimes you
like
need the haters, you need the doubters, and be like, you know what? I just got to prove these guys wrong. I know we
I
can
mean,
do
it's
it.
that underdog
Yeah,
mentality.
exactly.
Uh, I mean, I mean, they were a 7-0 team. They went undefeated in the regular season this year. We were 5-2. So I mean, everyone. I remember they ran a poll in the Tech East, the Call of Duty
Yeah, I see
general
that.
chat. They're like, "Who do you guys got winning, Steel or Indiana?" And almost everybody just Indiana, Indiana,
Yeah,
Indiana.
especially since they won season one, knowing that it's a
Yep,
rematch.
yep.
But game 11 or round 11, game five,
Hmm.
absolutely insane.
Oh yeah,
Just came
that
down to the wire, the last round. But that last round, that wasn't even a fight. It looked like
now.
it was just easy pickings. So tell me about
Yeah.
that round 11.
So it was. I'll start on round 10 actually. So
Okay.
the round 10 will forever just be like etched into my mind. So me and Keeks all last season we always said that we were the quote unquote duo on our team. Um, so I know round 10 we were in a 3v2 me and Keeks versus 3. I ended up killing all 3 actually, but just so I know Keeks was in P2 of of Gunrunner. I was around crates, so we were kind of like split up a little bit, and I ended up getting my first pick outer crates, and then I then moved into like the inner corner of crates, and I heard a guy above me in the crate, and I literally like remember sitting there and I literally just felt my heart like just pounding, 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 pounding. I
Yeah.
mean, it was like round 10, 2v2, like
Yeah,
game
and you're
5
down.
of the
You have to
championship.
win it. Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't have a round to throw. Like, uh, just something I'll never forget. But I ended up it was Mixo. He actually dropped down, and I was behind him. I ended up getting that kill, and then front of P2, I ended up someone called an ego chow, but I ended up winning the challenge. I challenged Sparky front of P2 and won that one. It took us to round 11. Um,
Yeah, that had you all
after that,
feeling real good.
oh yeah, after that we kind of just had it. I mean, we just kind of felt like all momentum swung our way after that one.
Were you able to read, be like, hey, like I feel like they're doing an A push, or was it just like everyone spread
So
out? We'll read it and go from there.
yeah, so that in game 5, I used like I said, I was the secondary sub, but I just for some reason, I just had a feeling in me that I just needed to run the AR that map. I ended up running the AR, and it actually worked out perfect. So that was kind of nice. But round 11, we always had Daz was running an AR all map, but he's like, hey guys, I'm feeling my snipe. He's like, I'm gonna snipe the A cross. He's like, I just have a feeling they're gonna hit A. So
Wow, yeah, and he ripped that first blood on there too with it.
yeah, so everybody we did our thing. We kind of did like our usual thing, but we switched around Daz and Cams. Cams would usually play like top AC, but we put Daz up. I think Daz played top AC that round with the snipe, and he just got an
Yeah,
opening pick.
yeah, he did.
And then after that opening pick, it was kind of like they kind of started to push everything. They were getting like, I mean, they were getting anxious. They were getting like nervous. They
Yeah,
started pushing stuff.
search is
Cams
all
had
about those first bloods.
yeah, Cams had 2 huge kills in
Yeah,
minecart. The one kill that he got on Sparky just absolutely beamed him. Like I watched it on the VOD and he like didn't miss. It was
yeah, I seen
great,
it from
crazy
Sparky's
shots.
point
Just
of
hit
view.
it.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
Sparky knew right where he was, popped out to challenge him, and
Yep.
he was on point, man. He didn't miss.
Yeah. He didn't miss a bullet.
Yeah,
I watched it on the VOD and I was like, he like literally like just beamed him. It was tough shots, but he hit them all and just that was a huge kill, and it put us in a 5v3.
Yeah.
Or yeah, he got those 2 kills, so it was 5v2 at that point.
Yeah, yeah, you got him
And
one
then
right after the other. Yeah, you
yeah,
worked that first blood, then that
round
double.
11. Yeah, round 11. I was supposed to watch B bomb site. I was just chilling. Like I was on tarp. I remember on tarp. I think I was kind of just laying there watching to make sure nobody's pushing through, and nobody ended up pushing through. So I kind of just backed up a little bit
Hmm.
and was playing to help my team out. And then they just did it all for me. I didn't have to do
Yeah.
anything. Round
One guy
11.
rushed in to try and get you guys on the bomb to go around that train. And
Yeah,
Keeks was right there to shut it down. He's like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. And I
yeah.
watched on Keeks' stream, he's just calling, he's like, hey, there's only one guy left.
Mhm.
I know the math ain't there, but we can still lose
Yeah,
this. Everyone, no one push
yeah,
him. We got it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when it's just like when it was, I remember it was 4v1 was mixed over, or it was 1v5 actually.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just like knew it was over at that point. It just like
Yeah.
it
And then
felt
he
so
killed
good.
Keeks, were you guys
Yeah.
thinking like, oh no, everyone's stressing, or you just keep
Not
it cool?
really.
Oh,
We
all
kind
right.
of just knew that we just had to play our angles. At that point, I remember I was pushed up to like they called it the God Rock on the
Yeah.
B
Yep.
bomb site, that heady, so I could just watch and make sure he didn't flank back around to go to the B bomb site. And Daz was still sitting top AC with the snipe, and everyone else was
Yeah.
just sitting
Just
around
had
like
him
mid
cornered in
trains.
furnace.
So I mean, we kind of knew that bomb was down at A because they all four hit A, and Mixo typically wasn't their bomb carrier. They usually had Zay with the bomb on that. They would
Yeah.
just have him try and
It's
like
good to
get a
have
quick
those
plant
reads.
somewhere. Yeah. Once you can establish on who's typically running bomb, once like you get that kill, you kind of have a feeling of where bomb's down and where other like the rest of their teammates are playing. So once we ended up getting, I mean, we obviously knew the bomb was down today, considering we already killed 4 there. So we kind of just all played stationary, just played time, and ended up working out for us. We ended up taking it 6-5. So
Yeah, that it doesn't get any closer, honestly.
now,
Like
well,
round 11, game 5, like wow.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I just like that feeling just felt so good after. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
I heard
like,
Keeks celebrating on his chat, everyone in the
yeah,
background like, guys, we did
yeah,
it. We did it. We did it.
yeah. I mean, it was crazy. I don't know. I'll just never forget that.